So, I have a question for Mikhail that he has not prepared for, but it should be pretty easy because it's about Czech people, and he's a Czech
we
people.
are at the Czech channel.
We are at the Czech channel.
We are not speaking Czech, but
No,
it's for non-Czech people.
like you.
Like
Probably.
you.
Well, you might speak Czech, in which case, I'm sorry.
But you definitely speak in English. That's why you can watch this.
Good job.
Good job.
So the question is, Mikhail,
Yeah?
what do Czechs do in their free time?
Many things. A lot of Czechs likes beer, Czech beer.
Czech.
So they would hang out in the pubs or restaurants and drinking beer with friends and just enjoying the free time after work. Every Czech, not every, but most of the Czechs hate being in work, probably like everyone else.
So they don't spend their free time in work. No.
Some of them might, but most of them would rather go to the pub
Yeah.
or just outside with their friends.
When Czechs go to the pub,
Mm-hmm.
do you just sit around and drink beer and speak together, or do you play some games? Is there some topics of conversation that are very common while drinking beer? How do you spend the time while drinking beer?
Well, while drinking beer, the best thing you can do is to complain about things. So it makes it
Like a drinking
more bearable.
So you complain about the things while you're drinking
And you say
to forget
to
about those things.
Yeah, just say it to somebody else. It makes it actually easier for you to live with it.
With or without beer, that is true.
Yeah.
And with
while
beer,
you
even
have more beer, you get more open conversation.
You have a point. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
If you find Czechs to be pretty shy and internal, go out to drink beers together, and it gets better. Yeah. It's true.
And we like lots of walking. Comparing to other countries, we like to walk a lot.
Yeah.
So in the woods, you can find a lot of tourist tracks. We have really, really many of them. And since our country is diverse on the terrain, we have a lot of hills, and people do bikes. People do
so many bikers.
so many bikers.
It seems like sometimes it seems to me
But-
like every Czech has a mountain bike. And it's not every Czech.
Yeah,
but there's a lot.
during the summer definitely.
Yeah.
But there's more people just walking.
And you have the paths are so well organized that you have marked paths for hikers and for bikers.
For bikers too,
Yeah.
and for the for just walking, you can choose the type of the track. It is divided by the color, so you can say with each color if it's a low difficulty or high difficulty. The red one, I think it is the highest difficulty. So we like the sport. So
Yeah.
we like to do well,
Big
on
nature
the
lovers.
one hand we like to sit in the pub, and on the other hand we like to do sports. And it could be the bike, it could be walking, it could be squash, tennis, football. We love football, so a lot of boys would be playing football. Some of them would be playing computer games nowadays. But I think that's in general everywhere,
It's probably
changing
everywhere.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
Yeah.
Czech people like to go with their best friends, and it doesn't have to be human. It can be dogs.
Man's best friend,
Man's best friend.
right?
Yeah, Czech's best friend.
But for this also going out in nature or in the parks and taking the dog for a walk, and this.
And a lot
very
of
popular.
people like to do running in their free time. They want
It's a very
stay
sporty
in shape.
culture. I've been amazed by that. If you like nature, it's a great place to live because it's really easy to find easy hiking paths and opportunities to enjoy nature,
And-
people to enjoy it with. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. And especially in Prague, there's much more places to go to some other sport than that. There are like many places to go: climbing, tennis, volleyball, everything. Like everything you can think of, you can find a laser game.
There's this very typical Czech activity on the weekend. That was very,
like festivals. We have a lot of
not necessarily.
festivals.
There
but-
are a lot, especially in Prague.
Yeah, especially in
There's a
Prague, yeah.
lot of festivals. No, I mean like going out to your cottage.
Ah,
Like a lot of Czechs, many
You're
weekends
right.
of the year.
Well, if the Czech is living outside of Prague, he likes to go inside of Prague
Outside.
during the weekend.
Outside of Prague.
Inside. If he lives outside, he likes to go inside.
Sorry. Yeah.
And if he lives inside, he likes to go to his cottage, which is as far as possible from the from the town, from the Prague.
It's true
So,
that Prague, especially
yeah.
in the summer, Prague like empties over the weekends.
You're right. There are a lot of cars going outside of the Prague on the Friday because a lot of Czechs are going to their cottages, and they like to spend their time in there.
This is something we should put in context though, because the first time that I heard Czechs, like young Czechs, telling me that they're going to their cottage for the weekend, I assumed that they were really rich. Because like if an American has a cottage for the weekend, it's gonna be like some nice house with several rooms there, and you have to be rich to have like a second house. So when
I
a Czech
see, I
says
see.
I'm going to my cottage, what should our viewers like
Okay.
picture?
You should picture like a really small wooden building that is not probably in most cases survivable during winter if the winter is cold.
Yeah.
Because during the winter we would close the cottage and prepare it for winter and leave it there. So it's like a summer place to go.
Often, not always, but often with no electricity. Could be.
No, there would be electricity.
You think there would be?
Most of them would be
I've
electricity.
been to a few cottages with no electricity.
Yeah, but most of them would be with electricity
Okay.
because people like Czech people like gardening, and for gardening you need water, and so you need electricity, and you
Anything else that many Czechs do? I think those are the main things. It does.
well,
seem...
Czechs like to do to swimming pools during the summer,
Mm.
and since we have so many castles, we go to
Visiting castles.
visiting castles,
Yeah.
and most of the castles, or not maybe most, but some of the castles have tours. So on the weekend, it would be like a family thing to go to some castle and have a tour there.
As visitors to the Czech Republic, or if you're living here, the great thing about that is many castles are maintained because people will come and visit. At the same time, if it's not one of the major castles, probably all of the information will be just in Czech because it's a lot of Czech people visiting the not mainstream castles. But still, it means that it's open, you can take a tour, you can learn a little bit of Czech and see the place, and there's lots of
And
places.
just don't forget that on Monday is the closing day for most of the castles and chateaus
And museums.
and
Yeah,
museums.
so don't take a long bus trip to a castle somewhere on Monday
Yeah.
and find out that it's closed.
You can easily find for each castle that has a tour, you can find a website, and some of them might be in English. And even if it's not, you can probably find the opening hours.
And it just occurred to me, so what do Czechs do during winter?
They would go to closed swimming pool with the roof.
Okay, an indoor swimming pool.
Indoor, we could do some skiing like
This is very popular.
on the river.
Right.
More on the river, like outside of Prague, because
And, like-
inside of Prague we have stadiums and skiing.
Yeah.
Skiing is popular among Czechs.
Cross country skiing.
So
is
it
really
could
big.
be another, like in summer we go to cottage and pool or some lake to swim, and in the winter we would go to cottage again, but to ski all day long.
Yeah. That sounds pretty accurate to me. Yeah. Yeah. So tell us if that sounds like a good lifestyle to you, and if yes, you should come to the Czech Republic. Like you'll love it.
And you can always tell me you see most of the Czechs are overrated and they don't move so much, and that would be true, but there's so many diversity in Czech Republic.
Yeah, definitely. So ask us any other questions that you have, and we'll see you in the next video.
Or just say hi.
Hi.
Hi, and bye.
Bye.
From the
I was
camera. Okay.
like,
Okay. Okay. Excited.
Excited. Many things.